What is up, guys? Bringing you this DNYCS Pittsburgh match that I am in. I am participating in the DNYCS Pittsburgh hosted by DN. It's their own little YCS thing, thus the name DNYCS. So yeah, we're into this match. I'm using the D rulers, of course, because I figured it was probably the best matchup. And of course, hey, I'm in it to win it. I'm going to use probably what I feel is the most competent deck that I'm able to use, because quite frankly, this is one of the most fun decks that I've played. And I'm very in tune with it. I know a lot of different combos, and I'm very in tune with the deck. Here, I'm playing an Evil Swarm player. I'm not that concerned. So let me give you the play-by-play. So in this thought, I had this nice little hand of 2 burner, 1 breakthrough, title, blaster, and super rejuice. So I figure, okay, I'll keep the blaster and 1 burner in case I need to use it against a potential Ophion. So I discard the burner and the title to summon out that blaster just to protect me for the turn with his big 2800. I use super reju, draw 2 off of discarding the 2, and yes, I get the Eclipse Wyvern and a Tempest. So let's see, he summons Mandragora, and he's going to go into Ophion, and of course I have the breakthrough skill all ready to go. So I use breakthrough skill. Okay, and I probably, in hindsight, should have activated it before he used the effect, because there's the possibility of him getting a Karikion, which, that's always one thing that can happen. Okay, so he sets 1, end phase, blaster goes back to my hand. I then realize I can just use the 2 blaster, and of course I draw a Flame Veil Guard. So I ditch the 2 blaster to pop the Ophion. I then use Burner and Eclipse Wyvern to summon out the blaster and search for Lad. Yeah, I'm just gonna let this play by play. You can listen to the music while I'm doing this. Let's see. So yeah, I then proceed to do the classic combo, you know, banish the 2 that you used. I summon Tempest out, I get Lad to my hand. And I think he has a bottomless waiting for me. So, let's see. Yeah, I overlay the 2 into, what do you call that? Draco Sack. And like I said, yeah, I think he has a bottomless waiting for me. Or does he? Yes, he does. Okay, so Draco Sack gets banished, and then I get my materials to the grave. But I decide I'm going to banish. What did I do? I banished a burner and one of the blasters to summon out Title. And of course I don't get Blaster's effect because I did use it to pop the Ophion. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to normal summon the Flame Veil Guard and then sync them into Thought Ruler. And I figured this is the safest option because if any of those back row are, you know, something that can be used for removal, Thought Ruler can always use his effect. So I summon out Thought Ruler, and he has something for me. I think it was Solemn Judgment, if I'm not mistaken, because that's really much the only thing he could have did against me. Thought Ruler in this deck only has to worry about force effects, monster effects that can pop, because he can only negate Spell and Traps effect that would destroy him. And then I think Torrential and Dark Hole, that's the only thing he has to fear. That's fine in this kind of deck, because in his deck he doesn't have any monsters that can pop, and he mostly relies on things like Compulse, Bottomless, and all that kind of shiz. So I look at my graveyard one last time to see if there is anything I can toss out for defense. I don't, unfortunately. And I think he actually takes game 1 by, of course, he drew the Karikion, banishing the Mandragora, summoning out the Heliotrope, attacking for both of them, which comes out to about, what is that, 1600, 1950, which should be about, if my math is right, 3550. And of course he's going to go into the Ophion. Get the search. Sorry if my commentary is boring, but really this was kind of a basic match. There really isn't anything going on right now. Although I should have some side conversation for what is going on. So let's see, of course he's going to set the Infestation Pandemic, and I forget that, okay, because look, I go to do the breakthrough skill, and I forgot that he can use that Infestation. So what was the next step that I did? Okay, I think I'm forced to skip because there's absolutely nothing I can do. Yeah, I end turn, and I think, of course, he draws a monster. Yeah, okay, yeah, he gets Kyricyon, which means he's able to banish one. He banishes the Elphion, gets another Kyricyon, and of course he's going to attack for game. Getting that nice double 1600 plus the 2550. Yeah, so then we go to game 2. And this is what the deck looks like. Give you a little. So what I decided to do is, against Evil Swarm, I have Exploder Dragons, and I side up the Max C's. My logic here is that you can't really tell when your opponent's really going to be special summoning anything when it comes to Evil Swarm. And when you do, you really can only draw like one card. That's it. I decided to highlight this because we had to. Okay, the way this tournament works is that you have to take a picture. You have to screenshot at each siding plus when you win the match, if you win the match. So I thought what I would do here is highlight the cards, show them what I did. And for some reason the camera wasn't registering. So in a moment you're gonna see I stop the video and I come back when I fix the problem. So here's my logic. Like I said, so Max C, you can't really predict when your opponent is going to be drawing, and if you do, you're only going to be drawing at least one card. Because, well, actually no, if he uses Rescue Rabbit, yeah, that would get you 2, but that's like it. Who cares? So I'm like, okay, I'll ditch the Max C and I'll put an Exploder Dragon, because with Exploder Dragon you can search it off of. Ooh, hello. Yeah, I was watching me some AA, the newest video before this tournament went on. If you don't like the guy, tough shit. I don't know. He makes me laugh. Whatever. So let's see what happened here. Okay, so Exploder Dragon. Sorry if my commentary is off today. I'm a little drowsy at the moment. So he sorry. Exploder Dragon. The whole point of him is, of course, like I said, you can search it off the Redox, which is what I do here. I use Sacred Sword, ditch the Redox, but of course, what do I draw? I draw Exploder Dragon. So I take the opportunity to get reactive, so that I could at least, put like a Redox on board to defend for 3,000. So yeah, I draw 2. What did I draw? I drew a Gold Sark and an Exploder Dragon, I think. I had a Gores in hand. So let's see, I ditch the Reactant and the Title, figuring don't do the Blaster because you might need it to pop, and don't ditch the Tempest because you may need it for search. So really, the most useless effect out of all the dragons would probably be Title, in my opinion. Because, to be honest, I mean technically, with Tempest, you can search to your hand, but with Title, you can get, like, maybe you can put one of the bigger dragons in the grave if you need to, like, get another special summon off the turn. But I would rather get something in my hand than, leave it to the grave. So, I'm able to banish the 2, search for Stream, then go into DNYCS. He doesn't have a Veiler, so I ditch the Tempest for a potential attacker later instead of the Redox. Although I could use it for defense, but then again I have Gores. So I make the 2 tokens, and then what does he do here? I think he forfeits because there's nothing he can do, which is stupid because you should at least try. I mean, damn. Because let's take a look at this hand he shows me. He's got Rescue Rabbit. He's got. Oh wow! I just realized that he had 2 Heliotropes, so he can't even use the Rabbit. What else did he have? A Kyricyon? Whatever. Okay, yeah. So I guess he was kind of fucked. Oh well. So then I go into game 2. Of course, I keep the same cards, but I have to take a picture anyway. So we go into game 3. It's 1-1 at the moment, and I won't spoil it for now. But you'll see what happens. Let's see. I open with a hand of Wyvern, Reactant, Breakthrough Skill, Super Reju, and Redox. So my game plan is on my turn, I'm gonna ditch the Reactant and the Eclipse Wyvern. But of course, he sided in a Defissure, which. Okay, no. Shit. Okay. So I was thinking about, wait, what if it was like, how's that in the main deck? And then I realized, okay, we sided. Okay. So my game plan kind of got fucked up here because getting Eclipse Wyvern plus a discarding Baby Dragon on first turn is really good, especially when you have another big dragon to banish the 2. That way you can get both. Oh well, missed opportunity. Plus I had a red MD, which means if I did, because here's a combo you can do. If you have a baby dragon and you special summon one of the bigger dragons, its big dragon brother off of it, and you have red MD, you can banish that one, and that way you can get the search for that big dragon because he wasn't summoned via his own effect, he was summoned via the baby. So that's one combo for you. So what I do is, I end up discarding, what did I do? A Reactin and the Red Ox. I'm saving the Eclipse Wyvern for a potential lad later. And I realized this, instead of getting the Reactin, I should have got the Exploder, so I said, wait a minute, this is what I'm going to do. So I put back the Reactin, I get the Exploder Dragon. I don't end up using it, just to tell you now. A little mini spoiler. What did I do? And then, what did I do? I leave the Red Ox in defense mode for defense, because of that big-ass 3000. Oh wait, no I don't, I banish it for Red MD, figuring that I should probably run over that Thunderbird in case of anything. Yeah, I almost went to go do the Super Reju, but then I realized that he would be able to banish it, and then get it back stronger next turn, plus he can summon something to go into Ophion, and that would be a big problem. But he has a Solemn Judgment, so I unfortunately have to get rid of the Red MD. So what I do is, I set the Breakthrough skill, play the Super Rejuvenation, but I normal summon the Eclipse Wyvern because I realize I can't leave my field completely open, so it's like, you know what, screw it, I'll just summon him, I don't need Lad right now, whatever. So I get the Super Reju, normal summon the Eclipse Wyvern, draw 2, and let's see, what was my 2 cards I drew? I don't remember. Hold on one second. I'll be with you in this. Okay, where was I? Commentating is not really my thing! Okay, so I drew Stream and a Breakthrough skill. So he summons Heliotrope, goes into Ophion, but of course I have the Breakthrough skill waiting. So I use Breakthrough skill once again, that same thing. He got caught with it twice in this the match. Not this match, yeah, in the match. But unfortunately he had an infestation ready for me already. And he decides to search for the infestation infection, which tells me that he has another pandemic, I guess. Must have drew 2. But I luckily have the Heavy Storm ready. So I do the Heavy Storm and he tells me, oh well, I'm activating pandemic, and I'm like, yeah, that's kind of obvious. I expect that, don't worry about it. Let's see, he had Deep Prison. So I was right, he did have the second pandemic, he wasn't just bluffing. He then tells me that he's screwed. I'm like, well, not really. I mean, you kind of do have still a chance. I mean, kinda. I mean, never give up. That's what Yugi taught me about doing. I never scoop. I always wait till it's like absolutely bleak and I know it. So let's see. I do the Exploder Dragon, set the Breakthrough skill. Attack into it, and of course I don't take damage because of Exploder Dragon's effect, which is the nice thing about Exploder Dragon. So I attack into it, blow up the Ophion, and I wait for my next turn. Look at my grave just in case I do have anything, but I don't. He draws, and what did he draw? He drew a Heliotrope. The thing is, this is his second Heliotrope. That's going to come in later. So he attacks for 1950, I don't care. I look at my hand, look at my grave. He comments that his team would kill him if he quit, which is funny considering what happens later. So yeah, it's a little spoiler in and of itself on who wins this duel. So I ditched the, let's see, Stream and Reactant to get the title rather than the Red Ox, because I figure I can use him more as an offensive guy next turn, because when he comes back to my hand, I can banish the 2 babies and use it for an attack. He has Heavy, which is okay. I mean, I guess. I mean, there really is nothing else in the D-Rule deck that has set besides Book of Moon, maybe. At least that's in my build. The title comes back to my hand, and I got a Blaster. See, now, this is what I do. I banish the 2 babies, summon title, but now, in hindsight, what I should have did, even though I did end up winning the duel, What I should have did was banish only one of those dragons from the grave, banish Blasters, search the Flame Veil Guard, play him, and then tune it into Thought Ruler. Because here's the thing. Let's see. What happened here? I attacked over it. So now during his end phase, it will go back to my hand. And how many of those are in grave? I can't tell. I forget. Anyway, so because in hindsight, because probably what happened was I ran out of materials or something. I don't know. So then he has a rescue rabbit, but unfortunately he already used 2 of his heliotropes. He couldn't use it, and it's pretty much good game. Well, that was it. See you in round 2.